Yo, 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 how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the next episode, episode 44 of The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. And we made a decision in the last episode to get one of our good old buddies, our mentor, the reason that we were fighting the Arcanians all this time was just basically because he was like, hey, I need somebody to do this for me, but I can't do it myself. Our good old friend, Sir Elborn, is about to be put to death by Dorius Otten, who was the person that we were trying to get in jail. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to jail. And everyone was fine with it.
Yeah, that's right.
That entire chapter 4 was trying to get this guy in jail or exiled or whatever. And now he's like, nah, it's okay. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, now we just wasted that entire chapter.
Yeah.
Trying to get an ending we didn't matter.
That's right.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, yeah, so I don't remember who was reading, but
it's you.
Is it me?
Yeah,
okay.
Now it's you, yeah.
Oh, now it's me. Okay, yeah, we just made the decision to kind of sit back and do nothing, but also we didn't really make the decision. It was forced upon us, so yeah. Anyway, you and your followers observe the heated struggle at the stairs of the prefecture from a distance. It is too late to get involved. All you can do now is watch and save your strength for the future. With a furious scream, Otten orders the noble militia to attack the prefecture's defenses. Cut the traitors down, no mercy.
That came across as very much the Room.
I love giving characters like the Room voice because it's just great. The cavalry turns to face the gendarmes with an onslaught of sharp steel. Bones crack beneath hooves, swords slice through the air, the stench of blood fills the square as fallen bodies dissipate into glimmering dust. Prefect Elborn shouts to the people for aid, but his voice is drowned in the cacophonous...
Cacophonous.
Cacophonous fray.
I was getting there eventually.
What a weird word. The common folk... voice crack. The common folk know that the prefecture will collapse without support, but their deeply ingrained fear of the noble warriors is too strong. The human sea that once filled the square dries up in the blink of an eye. The gendarmes falter against the surging noble cavalry. Their line breaks. With no one to support them, they surrender their arms. The gendarme captain leads Elborn to Otten. Please spare our lives, Sir Otten. My men and I will swear loyalty to you. The Arcanian gracefully dismounts, ignoring the captain's pleas.
I got a quick question here.
Yeah.
If everyone gets killed on this day,
yeah,
how long does it take for them to respawn?
And
when they respawn, wouldn't they just start again until everyone either has the one that they're fighting has a true death, or do you think they would just be like, I died once, I'm going to side with the other side now?
No, I think... Well, because Enoch was telling me, and there has been times in this game where it's like, no matter how many lives you have, there are still instances where you would get a true death.
Yeah,
right.
So they're disappearing, though.
Yeah, they're disappearing. So I assume that someone's just like at that little altar where people come back, and then as soon as they come back, the guy just stabs them and kills them.
Oh, okay.
Right when they come back. So it's like, oh, they come back. Like, let's say they've never died before, so they die. Then the guy is waiting there, and he just stabs them, and then the guy dies again, and then he stabs him, and then he comes back, and he stabs him. Yeah. And he just keeps stabbing. And he does that for, like 200 people.
I guess.
All at once. So he has to get really creative on killing them quickly, or else they're going to rise up again, and then, yeah. I don't know the details of it, but... yeah. Time to die, Elborn, but I am no butcher. You may be a traitor, but you are still known as a man of honor. You deserve a nobleman's justice. So draw your sword, Elborn. It is time for you to learn that the court of honor is the only true trial. Elborn meets Otten's words with a bitter chuckle. The old man does not stand a chance against one of the most skilled swordsmen in Magra.
That's why you get a gun and shoot him.
Yeah, exactly.
You have guns.
Yeah. No, it's an honor thing, man. It's like...
It doesn't matter. It's war at this point. It's...
Yep.
Dying in a barbaric ritual I fought against all my life. I suppose there's no changing this world after all, is there? Otten. You could change it by getting a gun and shooting him.
No, but it's not the honorable thing to do, man.
You can't... At this point, it's war, and you want to change the world, you kill them with the gun, you won't have to worry about it as much because you'd be killing him.
I feel like
The problem at this point.
I feel like you get really upset with like movies where they let the bad guy do a monologue while he's moving around and setting up for like some big final plan. Like the good guys get there and they're like, "Hey, Dr. Robotnik, like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, explain your plan to me." And then he explains the full plan while he's walking around secretly like doing stuff. And it's like, well, if you just shot him, you probably could have gone through his computers and then seen whatever plan it was, or you don't even care. And he's
also
dead.
at the same time, I'm annoyed at those type of movies because the main character decides to stand there and listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, and not do anything.
It's like, you could have killed him during this time. You wasted your own time.
Yeah.
He's going to win, and if he does win, it's your goddamn fault.
Or what happens is it's just enough time while he's explaining stuff to like kill his partner or something. It's like, okay, well, if you just shot him or if you just at least wounded him in a point where he couldn't move, you could have got the story from him and he wouldn't have been able to do some maniacal thing to kill your partner or something.
Yeah.
While you're just standing there.
I would say on a kind of contrast to that, some animes try to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
As well. It is annoying, but I do get that the dialogue is actually not happening. It is only the action, but they just put the dialogue in as context of what's happening.
Yeah.
So they're either just thinking it or yelling it as they're doing it. It's like stop or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, any of the way I watch animes is like if there's a fight going on, I just ignore the talking because that's not part of the action that is actually going on. Because if they were talking, they would be letting so much go by, and it wouldn't be like 5 minutes going by in a fight. It'd be like 20 seconds. Or 2 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Elborn has grown accustomed to holding a sword, and it shows. The prefect's stance leaves much to be desired. He waves the blade around clumsily, leaving himself open to an attack. With a single riposte, Auton guides his blade straight into the old man's heart.
That's when you can stab him, because it's in your chest. You can still stab him. You can kill him too.
Just another arrogant human. All this trouble just because of him. As for the gendarmes, kill them. A lesser death suits them well. This rebellion will be dead and buried by the time they make their way back from the hereafter. And be quick about it. We still have to breach the city gate. Please, listen to us.
Because all he has to do is stab him through, like, the clothing, and enough germs would get into his body to die from, like, sepsis.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't die right away, but he will die a painful death if you just stab him once.
Yeah, right? Like, you could have just dragged your sword in the dirt a little bit before the fight just to make sure that it really gets into his bloodstream.
That's how actual sword fights are. They're not short things. They're just there's a movie that does a really good job of it explaining. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an older one where they show the actual length of a sword fight and the dangers of it, because these two have a sword fight duel, and one guy gets stabbed a bit. And it's like, oh, I'm fine. It's like, then it's like the sword fight's over, and they're just showing how terrified they were to fight that sword fight.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes home after losing the sword fight, and he just dies a painful death because he's dying of like sepsis and like that over the course of a few days.
Oh, that's brutal.
So he loses the fight. He's still alive, but he's just in pain.
Yeah.
The rest of
that sucks.
For whatever part of the movie's in.
The noble riders quickly cut the prisoners' entreaties and lives short. Their uniformed bodies fall on the stairs of the prefecture, soon evaporating into a cloud of glittery mist. Once they are all dealt with, Auton rides away with his cavalry, scattering the pathetic remnants of the rebellious mob. The prefecture is no more. Elborn and his gendarmes have been removed from the equation. They will not be there for the final clash. Your men have been keeping an eye on the city. They tell you that the procession to the Silver Tree has already begun. Abbot Leonard and his followers are on their way to elect him the new patriarch before the common folk and the twins themselves. The fate of the feud between the two faiths will be decided by the clash of that Silver Tree. You have to be there. Of course, I mean, how could you miss it? I mean, good thing you booked your tickets early, or else you might not have been able to get in. You ready your men and head for the temple at the tree. Augustin Elborn, true death. Struggle for power. Well, there's still a struggle, but soon the Overseer might be in power, so it's probably not good. We kind of want the Commoners to be in power, so we're going the opposite way. Oops. Unrest, I mean, we're at a 3, so that's fine. You know, we were at discontent, but now no one's getting any sleep, so it's unrest, of course. We got some willpower back, so that's kind of nice. Maybe that will help us.
Use that for a decision later.
Yeah, exactly. The March of the New Faith. An enormous sea of humanity flows through Anazat, filling the streets of the Temple District. They are led by Abbot Leonard. The new believers walk peacefully behind him, many of them women and the elderly. They are unarmed. Their faces show neither fear nor anger.
No real danger from them.
No, man. I mean, they'll walk up to you and maybe cough on you or something, or tell you old stories about when they were younger for like 3 hours. Like you're like, yeah, Grandma, you already said that. You told me 2 hours ago. They're so drastically unlike the throngs of the rebels who are currently ransacking streets and looting noble houses. The procession slowly makes its way toward the Temple of the Silver Tree. The temple has always been where patriarchs of the church accept their sacred duty, along with the heavy burden of the responsibility for their flock before the twin gods. When a patriarch speaks, the twins pay heed, and every 8 years it falls upon the patriarch to proclaim their sight, how their world is humbly following the lot it has been given. It was confusing me with the capitals, and I was like, wait, are they missing a period? Or I always forget. Long, long after the twins descended to our world, the patriarchs came to be elected at the conclave by the clergy.
Long after the twins descended?
Yes, so long ago.
That means they weren't there before, assuming that their world existed before the twins did. That means they are not gods.
And
the faith, these faithful people have just proved it.
Or either that or just the game's writing proved it. This tradition has continued for many years. Today, dozens of priests have come to the temple in spite of the unrest to conduct the rite and spare the twins' world from their wrath. But now, thousands of commoners are walking to the same temple to elect the new patriarch themselves. You and your followers take a side street to the temple, avoiding the immense procession. Soon the square by the tree is packed, teeming, overwhelmed. But the stairs at the temple doors cannot be reached. A stalwart phalanx of champions of faith blocks the way, with Jian in the lead. She kind of looks like Jian from Bayonetta a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just a tiny bit, assuming that's her. They are joined by the Inquisitors, those who have decided to walk the path of the old faith until the very end. This is a new character. Brent, you wanna voice this lady?
I will not allow you into the temple, Leonard. These heretics will not make you patriarch.
Father Leonard slowly begins to descend the stairs. He does not argue with Jian. I have to say it like that every time. Jian. The abbot simply faces her with a humble smile and gestures at the people standing behind him. Doubt clouds the champions' faces. Leonard's procession is truly staggering. Even if they are mere commoners, even if they are unarmed and empty-handed, they're simply... Yep. I mean, a little redundant, but okay.
Unless they get their arms cut off and you're still holding on to something?
Maybe. You never know. There are simply too many of them to be stopped by a few dozen old believers.
Sister Jian, look at them. Are they truly heretics? All of them. They are just people, our brothers and sisters in faith. Why would the Inquisition treat us like enemies? We do not reject the twin gods, nay, we seek them with our every thought.
Well, if you really were believers of the twins, wouldn't you just kill yourselves to be with the twins? Do you need to tell other people that the twins exist when you are the ones who only believe that the twins exist and you know a way to see them?
Yeah.
So what is the point of your religion?
Their goal is like mass suicide so you can see the twins, but they also don't want to do mass suicide because then there wouldn't be a religion.
Also, would it actually be called a religion when you know it exists? Why would you say it's a belief when you know they do exist?
Yeah,
so that means it's a fact now. That means you can go and see them, and there's a way to see them. So religion doesn't exist here.
Yeah.
It's a literal like, I know these people exist. I can actually go and see them. It's like, but we're not visiting them because I don't have to. Anyways, that's a whole. I just realized a whole thing about this religion that they say is a religion that's not a religion.
It's a fact.
Yeah. It's a cult. No, I wouldn't say a cult, because cults also do the same thing. They need to believe. Anyways, you rejected the law of younger when you chose to seek your own lots.
No, Gian. The only thing we reject is Satius's error.
What the fuck is a Satius' error?
Satius. Satius. I don't know. This argument has been going on for years, Lennart. I know each and every point you can make. Don't even bother. You will not enter the temple. And all of these people, you're just dragging them down to the foot of the pillar along with you. How can you still not understand this after so many years? What do you think you're doing, Lennart? Don't you fear the wrath of the gods?
I do not, Gian. When I become patriarch, I will tell the twins that we still love and revere them just as we always have, even as we seek a different path to them. The twins will hear us, they will listen, they will understand.
Yeah.
There will be no wrath of the gods.
If they can hear you because you kill yourself, you see them.
Yeah. Well, I think she's saying like, okay, the gods exist, but you guys want to celebrate like this other god. So now these gods are going to be jelly, like they're super jealous, and they're going to be mad at you. So that's the wrath of them.
The way I was thinking was like, this religion, these guys are like, yeah, we can kill ourselves and go see these gods. But we don't want to go see them. We want them to hear us from over here. Yeah. So we want to yell at them from over here to come to us, so they know that we're doing this thing. It's like looking for praise from somebody far away by doing something they like.
Yeah. Although technically that is more on, like, I don't know. I'm confused because isn't this a war between like the new belief and the new faith and the old faith?
I guess.
The old faith is the twins, right?
Yeah.
Believing in this whole twins thing, and the new faith is like, hey, there's twins, but like there's also like other gods or something.
I guess. Yeah.
I think that's like the war that they're having right now, because we didn't go down the religion side.
Yeah.
Of things. I feel like we're missing a lot of information about this.
So, and we're gonna make a decision for them.
Probably, yeah. We're gonna
we don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but we're gonna say your stuff is stupid.
Yeah.
And your other stuff is not.
Exactly.
Say, which stuff do you think? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm making a decision on the fly here.
Right. Am I reading again? I totally forgot.
Yes, you
yeah. The new believers heed Leonard's words. They begin to firmly ascend the stairs to the door of the temple. The champion swords do not deter them. Gian watches the massive congregation approach her, her eyes filled with remorse. She raises an arm, about to give her final order.
Champions of the faith, protect the sacred temple. Fight to the bitter end.
You reach the foot of the stairs as she speaks these words. This is your last chance to intervene. Hey, you know what? We got two options. So let's look at the ones we can't do. Lead the procession to the temple. Clergy, we needed a little bit more. Eloquence, we needed 16. Cassius overthrown, torch the new faith. And I don't know what those mean, so we can't do that. Stand with Gian and drive the procession away. We need to not be a rebel. And we need the clergy one up and Gian to be righteous. But I don't think we've ever met Gian before.
No.
So there's
or at least we haven't made any decisions for her or with her.
Yeah.
She did show up during the story, though.
I feel like she did, yeah. I feel like she did once. So we could have done this, but we are a rebel, so we cannot do this.
The only thing.
But it's okay, because
A revolt to go down.
Gian would be defeated, and Father Leonard would receive a true death, but the revolt would go down.
Sure.
But then everything else would... Oh, and the common folk would go down. So, honestly, I'm okay without that. Order the priests to attack. Can't do that either. Gian needs to be doomed for her sin, so I think Gian plays a lot more of a play, or like is more there in the religion playthrough. Yeah. So we can't do that. Not that we would want to anyway. So we could walk away. Order goes down, which is probably not good. The revolt goes up. Willpower goes up. Father Leonard gets a true death, and Gian is buried alive. Holy crap!
Wow. That's a turn of events.
that escalated. Or we could save.
So they kill her. She comes back, but she's buried in her chamber.
Oh, that's really messed up.
I guess that's how you would
You could permanently kill
kill
somebody is just seal them in the chamber that they respawn in.
Yeah.
Damn, that's brutal. Or we do have the option to save the new believers from bloodshed. We're not the defender of the Empire. Common folk is more than 2 and willpower is at a 0, so this is where we need the willpower for. Rebel goes up, order goes down, revolt goes up, clergy goes up, willpower goes down, Father Leonard is defeated, and Gian has a true death.
Oh, so they're both dead.
So
one's dead, the other one's like gone.
Well, in this case,
The
I
new
think
phase?
in this case they're both dead.
Yeah.
100%. Order goes down, revolt goes up, and willpower goes up, which is kind of nice. In this one, the order goes down, revolt goes up, and the clergy goes up. Willpower goes down. I'm not really like I'm very impartial
to both of these decisions.
To both
because they ended up basically in the same direction.
They do for the most part, but this one uses willpower and this one gives us willpower. So that's why, like, I mean, this gives us obviously clergy, which is good. I guess for like religion and stuff, so that would help out. But then if we get into another situation where we're locked out of something just because we're at a -5 willpower.
We'll also have like we lose -1, or just we lose 1 order and the other ones will lose 2.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. But like, where does order, like, power, order, unrest? So if we lose 2, yeah, okay, yeah. So if 0 is lawless land, so okay. So this is basically communism versus fascism. So if we go lawless land, it's basically communist land.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And since we were upholding the law throughout the entire game, I think we should pick law over no law.
Yeah, no, suddenly
but they're both losing order.
Well, both of them lose order. This just loses more order.
Yeah.
Right? But then this one, we do get clergy out of it. I'm just worried about the willpower. Because there has been a decision in this chapter where it's like, oh, you could have done it. You were just out of willpower.
I am down for either walk away or that one.
Yeah.
It's just...
The revolt goes up, which is good, right? But we only need a 6 or more to get the kill everyone ending.
Yeah.
So...
You just go to walk away.
I kind of want to save the willpower, I think. Yeah, because I don't... Yeah, plus I kind of want to see what happens when Gian's buried alive. I know this is really dark, but it does fit in with our, killing everyone.
Yeah.
You're staying out of this. The fate of the faith will be decided without you. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we shouldn't really have a decision in this anyway.
Exactly.
We haven't done anything, so okay.
It's like, this is your guys' decision.
Yeah, right? Like, why? We have no say over any religion or anything like that, so I feel like we should kind of stay out of it.
We're not well versed enough in religion to make a decision for them.
Exactly. So should we walk away from this decision?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna walk away. Okay, I feel good about that.
There can never be peace between Inquisition and the Inquisition and the New Believers. Sister Jeanne is right. The dispute between them has been going on for years. Neither side will ever yield to the other. You have nothing to gain here and everything to lose. You gesture to your followers hurriedly. Fall back. You watch John from a safe distance, no longer able to bear the tension. She orders her warriors to attack. In the name of the younger, go forth. Drive them from the square. The champions of faith obey John's orders. They get into formation. They get into formation and begin advancing on the new believers. Weapons is hand.
They get information about getting into formation.
Yeah. And they get weapon is hand. Weapons is hand.
Weapons is hand, yes. They turn their hands into weapons.
Slapping everyone.
Everyone, drop your weapons. Weapons is hand now. The new law, weapons is hand.
The unarmed mob recoils in fear, but those in the front row are pushed from behind and driven into the blades. Blood splatters onto the stairs of the sacred temple. A woman's voice lets out a shrill scream. Panic spreads throughout the mob like wildfire. Chaos fills the minds of the women and men. They begin pushing, pulling, dashing, recoiling like frightened animals. And the warriors of the church keep advancing, unrelenting and lethal. So all I can imagine is like all these old people are fighting each other like this. Like they said it was a bunch of elderly.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Well, that's why they can't pick up a sword, so they have to use their hand. Weapons is hand, Brent.
A mighty gust of wind rushes over the square. It roars, howls, almost screams, filled with remorse, agony, and wrath. The earth begins to tremble beneath your feet, before your very eyes, as though as in some terrible nightmare. The roof of the sacred temple begins to shake, and the pillars start to sway back and forth. No.
By the twins, what is happening?
No. The street jerks beneath you, buckling slightly. Some of your men struggle to remain on their feet, but you cannot look away from the square and the terrifying sight unfolding there as people try to in vain to escape the divine reckoning. After a few minutes, silence falls. No, it's Silent Hills. Where the temple at this silver tree once stood, there is nothing. The grand majestic structure is no more. It has been leveled to the ground. Remnants of the walls and roof are strewn across a square, like building blocks scattered by a massive hand. The stairs that once led to it have.
The stairs that once led to it.
Yeah, the stairs that once led to it have been ground into gravel. The cloud of dust slowly settles upon the square. After the dust come the leaves. After the dust come the leaves.
Yeah, there you go.
It needs to be comma or something else there.
Not necessarily. It's just
leaves.
It's like if you're saying it. After the dust come the leaves. Like it's weird, but it still works in a sense. Anyway.
Thousands and thousands of leaves shed by the silver tree. They cover the corpses of the truly dead. Like a pale white shroud. This entire square glows as the body of those yet to be reborn dissolve into nothingness. There are so many that the light stings your eyes, even though the thick dust that still hangs over it all.
Even through the stick.
Even through. Okay.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a nightclub where you have like strobe lights,
like a rave.
Yeah,
jeez,
just strobe lights going on just blasting through the clouds or the mist.
Jeez Louise.
Just how many people met their deaths today. You do not see another living soul in the square. Neither Leonard nor Jean survived the temple's collapse. The two irreconcilable enemies were both buried in the rubble. The wrath of the gods knows no mercy. What is done is done. There is no changing it. You begin mustering your forces and prepare to move to Empire Square. Enormous crowds of people are already on their way there, about to choose the leader. Yeah, enormous crowds of people are already on their way there, about to choose the leader of the Anazat rebellion. Now that feels like a weird comment. The sun slowly begins to set.
All right, Father Leonard is a true death. John, we were acquainted with, and now she's buried alive. Jeez Louise. She got acquainted with the ground that, fell on top of her and buried her, so that's good. The Revolt Rebels are winning! Yes! Hell yeah. What is Charlie Sheen on the Rebels side? Winning! That's a reference from like a million years ago.
2014?
Oh, feels like that. Dude, evening! Oh my god, we're like almost done the day, dude.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Watch us die in the evening. I'm gonna be so mad. Oh man. Okay, Brent. You know what? We're getting close to the half-hour mark. So why don't we call that an episode?
Okay.
And then we can do one more, and that most likely will be the last episode.
Yeah.
It will be the finale, hopefully. Potentially. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think we're getting to the point where after the evening, we're either going to die or we are going to survive and kill everyone.
Yeah.
Which, I love how both endings that we get is either we die
or they die
or everyone else dies.
Yeah.
That's one of two endings. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Do the things you do for everyone else, but do it for us. And, I don't know, Brent, do you have anything to say?
No.
Cool.